certainly happy to be here. I'd like to begin by acknowledging we're gathered on the ancestral lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe people, governed in the dish with one spoon and the two Rome wampum. Sego Bojuani. It is indeed my honor and privilege to be here as the Ward 3 Councillor in the City of Hamilton to bring greetings to the guests and the volunteers of Miska on a political protocol being observed. Certainly you're welcome guests from the City of Hamilton. But if I could put all of that politic aside and just be personal for a moment, the reason why I came at 11 o'clock, stayed to ensure that I can say these words, is to acknowledge the work that is being done in this community. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment first to acknowledge the incredible, courageous leadership of Miska, the Jameson family, and all the allies in support. It is important for us to recognize is through their efforts we are building bridges in our community that go beyond this campus. It's often the case that we stay inside our own communities, be they academic, cultural, or otherwise. And I believe that the struggle that is before us, led by our Indigenous sisters and brothers, is going to require coalitions and alliances that go beyond our own communities. And so it's from that space, if we could please take sacrifice. It's important to acknowledge the visitors that are here to bring their own teachings and to share their experiences as I'm taught in a good way. I'd like to acknowledge Jay Dean, who's doing incredible work in our community, not just on Indigenous issues, but on land issues and on water issues and on social justice issues right across the board. So if we could please give our MC a huge round of applause. She's been a friend and ally and is able to redirect me anytime I get off that good path in a very important way as well. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge Cody Zachariah, who's here from Ottawa, to bring his experience and his knowledge to this group. And of course, my good friend Danielle Bosenu, close? Busno, who, as I, in conversation today, acknowledged her work and leadership on food justice issues, social justice issues as it relates to really draconian bills such as Bill C-51. And of course we have Rick Langlois and his family here from Brantford to share their experiences as well as Jen Mount Pleasant. Jen Mount Pleasant, I just read that, my goodness. I've known Jen for years. It's been a while, welcome. I'm sorry, I just put the two and two together, which is absolutely amazing. Of course we have our good friend, Mr. McNaughton, who just come in as well. Just want to acknowledge your presence and shout out to the Six Nations Arrows t-shirts that he's rocking today.
Excuse me, sir. You don't know it, but I used your last name.
Okay, well, I won't. I'm sure there's a policy for that, Frank, but we won't get into that. So we're here today in a lighthearted way, and we're here today in a place of friendship and a foundation of relationship. And as I say in any event that takes this much time and effort, the people that are here today are the ones that are supposed to be here. The relationships and the new voices and new perspectives that you're going to share today are so integral. My words at this point aren't for the Indigenous people present, but for the non-Indigenous people present. It is important that we are led by the leadership of our Indigenous peoples. It is important for all of us to recognize that treaties are not just nation-to-nation treaties, that we are all treaty people, and our obligations and responsibilities as citizens under the Crown is to respect the independence and sovereignty of Indigenous territories as they relate to the treaties that are across this country. And so I'm glad for the allies that are here today and seeking understanding and seeking greater possibility for relationship is so very important. And so it's with all of that that I'm so grateful that you guys are here today. And thank you for providing me a little bit of space to be able to share that. In close, as you see, we're wearing the orange today in recognition and solidarity of the residential schools and the legacy that has had in this country, and also acknowledging that today, in this day and age, there's more Indigenous kids in CAS care than there was in residential schools. So this is not a historical context we're talking about. These are present day struggles. So I stand in solidarity with all people's struggles. Thank you.